Let's get right into it. One of the biggest talking points from last year's game, the RNG in shooting. What can you tell us about shooting this year, and can you compare it to a past 2K?
Okay, so we've talked about this online a little bit. There's no RNG in shooting. I'm going to say that with an exception. There's RNG still in like those quick heaves that you get at the ends of buzzers, buzzer beaters, and like half court, full court heaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Shot clock cheese moments are still shot clock cheese moments.
In the shooting, we're good.
So that's still, I don't want to get labeled a liar.
Fair enough.
That's still going to use a dice roll. But everything else is straight green windows, pure green windows. They scale based on attributes and coverage and all of the badges and everything. But those windows, once they're set by those things, if you can time your shot in those windows, you will hit the shot.
So does contest matter? Does contest drop your window? Like, is a wide open shot the same window as a contested?
Assumedly so, right?
You can time your shot in those windows. You can shoot 100%.
You can shoot 100%.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
shit.
Compared
2K, 2K. You have to ban cheaters this year. This is the year you can't do this. Cheaters have to get banned.
Zen's about to go.
You just said that.
I've never done this before. The closest was probably 24. 24, we had a pure green window, a little bit larger one, but that one even had RNG on the edges. So what happened there is like, it was a really, really tight window that most people probably couldn't hit consistently. And then that would bleed out to like, 0% chance on the edges. So we still used a dice roll to keep the numbers like, so people wouldn't go like, over 10. They would at least hit some shots if they were kind of sloppy.
Let them go over 10 though. Fuck that.
So you'd say it's like a more skilled base 2K24 shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. If
Okay.
if you are
I like what I'm hearing.
crazy good at shot timing,
That's bro. The Zens, man.
You're going to separate yourselves from other players.
Absolutely. And to offset that, I'll throw that out there too, is that one of the reasons why we felt we could go this way is because defense is stronger. So contests, they're powerful.
I like that.
If you can get a hand up,
Yeah, I like that.
I watch you guys play a lot. I know you guys are really good at doing this. So you know when to jump, you know when to stay down, you know when to be in the hands up. People who master that, they're going to be able to ding these shooters hard enough.
I love this. I told
Defense,
you guys,
baby.
Overpowered offense, overpowered defense. Let the best man win.
Defense,
you know
baby.
What I'm saying? Defense needs to be just as good as offense.
I play defense, baby. Y'all know what I'm here for. You feel me?
That consistently, at least, that you're going to keep the percentages down. So I'm not too worried because at least
You feel me?
Yes, we've been having, we're getting good numbers.
So we'll segue into shot contests then. It seems like it can be challenging to find a balance, right? You have attributes, badges, player heights, player wingspans, hand placements on the contest. How do you try to balance it to make it to a point where you're not getting contests when you shouldn't, and then you are, it's not too strong, too weak? How do you find the balance between all those factors?
Yeah, it's really hard. It's just a lot of iteration, and it's seeing what feels right. And the hardest thing about contests, I'm going to say, is usually what happens is in the 2K cam view when you're playing live with no replays, sometimes things don't look as contested as they are, or vice versa.
Yep.
Like sometimes it's like, oh, there's a crowd of dudes on the guy. Why is it like a 2% contest? And usually it's because two guys are flat-footed, one guy's behind the shooter, and it looks really crazy, but it's actually pretty open. And so
That makes sense.
It's really hard to dissect, every little clip.
If you were to freeze frame it at the point of the release, it's actually...
You can kind of see why the game is saying this is not a heavily contested
That makes
shot.
sense.
Even though to your eyes, in real time, in the heat of battle, it might look contested. But yeah, it's really just a lot of balancing and trying to make it so that, everything is a factor. We want people to invest in good perimeter defense or interior defense on the inside. We want to make sure that, height is effective, wingspan's important. All those things.
Mike Wang, man, my nigga.
And not, overpower each other.
Staying on the topic of shooting, rhythm shooting was added to 2K25. You've already talked about how rhythm shooting is different this year, and we kind of need to recalibrate our brains in terms of how to think about it. You've also talked about how you want button and rhythm shooting to both be viable options.
Ass.
What are some factors you would say people should consider when they decide if they want to shoot with the button or with the stick?
It's going to be labbing, I think. It's going to be finding the shot that works for you and finding out like what you're good at. Because it's, I guess my analogy, and maybe it's not a good one, but it might be like if shooting with the button is like shooting a free throw, and shooting with the stick is like shooting a deep three-pointer with maybe a slightly larger basket. It's like one might be easier for somebody and one might be harder for somebody.
I don't like
But
that analogy.
it really depends on the person. Like some people are just going to get it. Some people are going to be in rhythm shooting and be like, I understand that tempo.
I
is
feel
what
like
really
they're gonna
matters.
make one
I gotta
more
get a
powerful
certain
than the
speed
other.
in my stick throw to
Might be
master
X
shooting.
button.
And some people are like, I don't get it. I just can't hit a shot. I just see the window. I want to use the button. And that's fine. And then some people are gonna be in the middle, like Wolf's one of our best players internally, and he's like, he has this crazy formula. He's like, I'll use button for this case, I'll use stick for this case, I'll use stick for this case, button for this case.
So certain
he's all over the
shots-
place. Yeah, certain shots it might be easier for
dividing it
you.
up.
And for me, I do rhythm shoot. I rhythm shoot everything, like, and that's just how I play.
Confirm Mike Wing
But,
rhythm
yeah, some
shoots.
people are mixing it up, some people are just pure button, and that's kind of one of the metrics for me. Actually, is internally, what are people doing? What are they gravitating towards to be successful? And I've found that it's really a good mix. So I think we're in a decent spot. And I don't know why I want this, but I think rhythm shooting is cool. And if it was, up to me, everyone would at least try it. But like we said earlier, it's like I didn't want it to be like last year. There was definitely an advantage.
Right.
And
With rhythm
there might
shooting
be
for
an
sure.
advantage this year if you find it easier because you just happen
Right.
to understand the mechanic better. But really, you can't go wrong with either.
So if someone's not like you, if they don't like rhythm shooting, it's like you shoot with the button, you're on the level playing field. It's just
Oh, yeah,
it's just
absolutely.
preference.
And some people are going to be like destroying people on the button, and if you force them to rhythm shoot, they'd probably go 0 for 10.
Yeah.
So it's really, yeah. The goal is to make it both viable.
Real quick, man. Just shout out to Mike Wing for doing this. Like, this is actually really cool. I wish we could get this throughout the year.
You
at
Bucky,
least
you being
once
good
a
for- what are you
year.
talking
This
about,
is
though?
actually awesome. We've never.
Equal, I don't know if there's even a way to put a metric behind that because I don't know how to gauge something that's that different, right? It's just different.
With the addition of the Badge Max Plus 2 perk, you're going to be able to boost badges multiple levels now. Can you speak to how effective it's going to be? Let's say, your 78 three-pointer is typically silver set shot. How effective is it going to be to boost it to 78 three-pointer with half set shot?
Does it make it?
actually
Does a
getting
78 make it an
the-
88
Dude,
with those
this
badges?
is the question that I
That's
just asked
what I
earlier.
want to know.
This is-
Does a
oh,
78
I wanna see this.
three-point but boosted badges make it an
requirement of
88?
three-pointer to unlock the
It was with
badge level,
rebounding was my
Because then I can make a
how can we
68
kind of in
three-point
our
boosted
brains
badge.
define how much better it's going to be?
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a very difficult question.
All right.
It's very nuanced. And the thing about badges is that they're situational, right? So a rating is going to be more global, and it's going to affect you everywhere, but the badges might be certain situations or certain contexts. So you have to consider that, like what kinds of shots are you taking? So yeah, generally speaking, I would just say find the shots that you like to take or that you tend to take, find out the badge that's going to work best for, and then go all in on that badge. That's better than getting like bronze everything. Bronze everything is going to be like, it's not going to do a lot for you, to be honest. You're going to want to go at least silver or gold to see some effects from that badge.
Okay.
Otherwise, just go in on your attributes and, that's going to be more beneficial to you.
All right, let's switch gears. Finishing.
It's a good answer.
We've seen 2Ks where finishing has been insane, dunks, layups, floaters, all types of things. We've also seen years where it's been a bit hit or miss and a little inconsistent. It seems like this year was an area of focus, with custom layups and bringing back the visible green window on dunks and layups. Just talk about the challenges in terms of finding a balance, because again, there's so many factors: attributes, badges, player momentum, player size.
Bro, they got the different camera angles and stuff. Like, this is the real
This was definitely
deal.
set up for sure.
And 20 minutes is when we're getting the gameplay for the people asking. 20 minutes.
Size, height, all those things. How do you find that balance so that it's not overpowered, but it's also not inconsistent?
Yeah, that's another difficult one. Just one of the things I'll say from the outset is one of the goals for our team this year was, and this sounds weird, but we wanted every play style to be OP. So
I like that.
you've maybe heard that before, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
it sucks when there's one dominant play style
Yeah.
or two dominant play styles. We wanted
Yeah.
it to be like if you created a slasher and even a layup slasher, like really specific.
Face you!
Yeah, a guy who just finishes like Kyrie, that you can do that
My
and
bad.
be effective,
Yeah.
and you can like kill people with that.
Yeah.
If you were like, some glass cleaning, interior defense.
I'm a pause it for once. If y'all know me, y'all know I like my layups. I like the scoops. What type of chips do you like, nigga? Up and under lay. Bro, I made a layup build last year and it was so fucking useless. I had a 99 layup and it didn't fucking matter. Like, there was nothing I could do, bro. I'm making it again. Fuck, I don't give a who say what. Y'all get me. I'm making it again.
invest everything in that and you get good at that, you can.
Yo,
just,
Southside, thank you for the
everything in there.
dono.
If everything's OP, then it's kind of just like pick
My
what
bad.
you want to be.
Yeah, pick what you want to be.
Yeah.
We want there to be a diversity in play styles. But to answer your question with slashing, yeah, it was a point of emphasis, especially with layups and dunks, to make slashing just more of a game, like more of a weapon.
Right.
Because we knew going in, these thinking green or miss is back. People are gonna be like, okay, I'm making a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna
gonna
make this
left,
a
right,
little
cheese behind
smaller when
screens
they
and
do
just
that.
pull every shot. It's not as easy as it sounds. So don't think you're going back to 2K24. It's different, especially I mentioned with the contest. So I encourage people to try out a bunch of different styles before they commit to what they're building.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it already downstairs, but like floaters are tough. Like they're really strong, and
Ooh.
you know, if you get in your bag and you find the custom layup package that you want for your
Floater
guy, it's
alert.
gonna be pretty tough.
Yeah, you can be exploding.
1 second. I just realized I did not like the video. Maybe
I
you just
respect that.
realized you didn't like the stream.
I'm not doing that.
You see what I'm saying, right?
Downhill and stop on a dime and just float it over the bit. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's
And dunks too. You see it. We made dunks easier. It's
Yep.
just hold down on stick now. It's not a big.
I don't know how I
net
feel about
throw,
that,
as people
honestly,
call
but
it.
seems like even like
easier.
standing dunks
It's-
as
yeah.
well, like standing meter dunks. Everything seems a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little worried about 7'4s, but I think they're okay. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. When it comes to dribbling in 2K26, what was your vision? What did you see and what did you want to execute? And are we going to see big builds being explosive and popping off the dribble like LeBron and Durant and all the taller players in real life?
I wouldn't say popping, but they're definitely moving better.
Okay.
The goal for dribbling at a high level was to make it more explosive. Let players branch and chain moves together more readily, more freely. Have moves generally be more explosive, both launching out of them and just chaining between moves. And then just putting a lot of different combos in that haven't been in the game for a while or never have been in the game.
Right.
So that's exciting to me always, working on the dribbler. It's just like, what can I Easter egg into this thing? Not tell anybody about. It's not in 2K, learn 2K. You just
See
gotta
how
go.
long it takes them to find it?
Yeah, gotta wait till Steezo's video comes out, or you gotta like.
Wow.
Wait for
That's
Steezo's
crazy.
video.
A Steezo shout out. Okay, look at this. Bro
That's
is
what's up. I ain't gonna lie,
cheesing.
that's what's up.
Cheesing.
It sounds like they're really excited about the dribbling, which is great
Get
fucking
in the lab
news.
and you gotta just
Yeah.
cook. So.
Okay.
Yeah, discoverability to me is like one
See
thing
you,
that I'm
Mike.
excited about for dribbling, and I think people are going to find like their dribble style and all the moves that you can set up with your guy,
Yeah.
and find the right combo that that you're good at and get in their bag. And
Yeah, I messed with it a little bit, and it definitely feels more explosive. Even the 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", yeah, definitely compared to last year, much more. I know you said not poppy, but I would describe it as more, burst.
yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Shay, our cover guy, because a lot of his animations are pretty tough. So he's a good dribble style to try out too. I'd say for the bigger guards.
So judging by the things you've
Bigger
tweeted
guards.
and answered questions on, it seems like you're kind of leaning towards a more skill-based defensive system in the game. Like you said, pluck steals have been nerfed, but blitz steals will be rewarded. It seems like if you outplay your opponent, that's what you're looking to reward defensively. Was that the idea going into kind of revamping how defense is played?
Especially with steals. Steals have been for a long time haven't had much of a game to them.
Right.
It was kind of a ratings-based dice roll. So that's what I meant when I said the pluck steals are gone.
Yeah.
The ones that are just calculated by like, here's your rating, here's my rating, I hit the button, let's just play an animation out, that's all gone. So actually you guys inspired me a lot. Watching Black Market play and watching like Bauer play defense, I call him out. I guess it's all you guys, but especially Bauer, and like how good he is at anticipating and cutting the dribbler off. I wanted that to be the game. Like, if you can read where the ball handler is going, and then
Because
and
I
then
know where the
see at right
fuck you
time.
going,
We spent a lot of
boy.
time
Yo, what's good
practicing
with you?
The ball targeting on steals and playing the right animations. They're quicker generally.
2K26 news is
animations
here,
themselves.
baby. We lit.
So,
My
and
bad,
not
I'm yelling
opting
and shit.
into them as much. But yeah, that whole the IQ part was important to
Right.
me. Yeah.
I really like this dynamic of the interview where, from what we're hearing, both sides, we were just
What do
talking
I
about
want to
this.
see as far as like from
2K19,
like 2K
overpowered here,
or
overpowered
like
there.
from
Let
the
better
information and
player
shit that we're
win.
getting? I want to know more than anything how the lane steals, how the bumps. I need to know if I meet a nigga at the rim and he's in a contact dunk, am I gonna be there to contest it? I need to know if contests matter, bro. They made it to where green windows are 100% green now. Like, if you could time that shit, it's a bucket. That's gonna be a problem for Zins. I need them to take all that shit out. Like, not the green windows. I need them to take out the Zins day one, bro. Don't let them niggas take off. I'm not trying to see that shit. I'm not.
Rewarded for a steal instead of just, like you said,
I like
pressing a button
defense.
and the game
You feel me?
gives it to you.
Yeah, and that was like I said,
And if I play good
the thing.
defense, highly contested, you know what I'm saying, moderate heavy, man. I mean, the green window making a contest is basically non-existent. See, that's what I heard too from the gameplay, from what everybody was saying whenever they got to play it early. And Mike Wang, you might have to go back in a little video a little bit. He was talking about how defense feels better, but they gonna patch that. They gonna have to. Day one, they're gonna have to change that shit.
Like,
So if
that
they
was
don't change that
across the
shit, it's gonna
board,
be a problem.
So, but especially with defense,
They're gonna have to
steals,
make it better.
Blocks it the same way. We didn't want to just be like, okay, your rating's good, you block everything.
Right.
It's got to be, you got to time it, you got to read, you got to know when to jump, when to stay down. those
That's
kinds
what I
of
was
things.
thinking.
I saw some people follow up that they were concerned, like, oh, so what's the point of even going high steal? From my experience playing
Yeah.
2K, the higher your steal, the better reach animations you get. Not just plucks, just better, quicker reaches. You recover faster instead of getting.
My understanding from all previous 2Ks though is if you have the badge, you get the animation, and it's been like that for a while. So I think a high still gives you more of a reliability or more of a factor, like you have a better chance. But for the most part, if you have the badge, 2K lets you get that animation. And how do I know this? Because of my leagues. You can have a nigga with a 25 still. You give him Hall of Fame pickpocket, he gets a fucking pickpocket animation. So him saying that these animations are tied to attributes, I'm sorry, it's fucking wrong. That's incorrect. Now, I would like it to be tied to animations. Don't get me wrong. 2K don't work like that. And the fact that he didn't call him out for that is crazy, because I know that for a fact.
Into a long, kind of stumbly reach animation. I'm assuming that's consistent this year.
Yeah, and you even have like, we actually have different collision radius with the hands based on your steal rating.
Interesting.
So there'll be times where like, if you're the ball and I have a lower steal rating, if I get like right on the edge of it and I'll miss it, but that extra couple of like, sometimes inches or less than inches can make a difference between a steal and not a steal. So that stuff's all impacted by your steal rating. So there's
That actually is true, guys. Mike is not lying about that. There was a test in 2K24 with glove, and the radius in between how far away you are from your defender and being able to get a steal was...
Peep how he said with glove, not the attribute. He said it. He said with glove, with the badge. You get a bigger radius for the steal. It's not tied to attributes. That's bullshit.
You could be further back with a higher glove, so he should.
Mike
that should
Wake
be
caught
true
lying?
for 2K26. If
Crazy.
you're talking about it here,
reason to invest in steal, especially if you want to be a lock or a two-way. You're going to need it.
You touched on it a little already in terms of the build and play style diversity you're looking to create. Is there anything else gameplay-wise that you would say you're hopeful creates that diversity in 26?
Besides the builds themselves and the takeover system, I think I mentioned on Twitter, we opened up some of the requirements too for like dribble styles and for dribble moves. That so the rule kind of was, if it was like an 80 rating requirement, and you were like, it was like for swings only or for smalls only, that got moved to both. So that's kind of the rule. So I know people were saying like, okay, well that means that like LeBron can get Kyrie's moves, and that's not how it works.
Right.
Kyrie's still going to be limited to the small guards because it's such a high rating.
Yep.
But yeah, opening some of that up is going to, I think, hopefully create some build diversity, or give people options at least. Like if they're only choosing
Appreciate the
a
follow, by
small
the way.
guard because they want a certain dribble move style,
Welcome to the stream, my boy.
a certain move itself, maybe they can.
and that's how it should be. You know, the 6'10" shouldn't be able to get like something that a 6.
I think I touched on this before too, and some of my other videos on YouTube. If you haven't go seen them, please go look at that. If a lot of people were saying that if, since it's not tied to height anymore, I'm 7'3", I'm gonna have Kyrie dribbles. No, you're not. No, you're not, because you're not gonna have the ability to get that high of a ball handle for it to fucking matter. You feel me? So if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm your boy Galaxy Opa Rob. No more yapping, no more talking. Let's get into it.
I liked and everything I didn't. For example, I love that you could actually speed boost out of different dribble moves. Last year, it was basically if you didn't have Steve Francis, you were cooked. This year, there's definitely more variety. One thing I didn't. I played NBA 2K26 early, and today I'm gonna be giving you my 100% honest opinion on everything I liked and
oh my god! Oh my god!
2K26
Oh my god! Look at the green window. He full whited it.
Today I'm gonna
He early that motherfucker. He didn't even make it.
be giving you my 100%
Behind the back, yo, Curry looks smooth. Jimmy with the
opinions on everything I liked and everything I didn't. For example, I love that you could actually speed boost out of different dribbles.
Oh my
Last
god!
year, basically, if you didn't have Steve Francis, you were cooked. This year, there's
Oh, Mike
definitely
Conley looks
more
smooth.
variety. One thing
Green
I
bean?
didn't like is the ball switching hands without me even touching my controller.
They said they took that out. They said they took hand switches out. Yo, pick it out.
This made comboing up super annoying, but don't worry, I found out 2K did add a way around this that I will explain later in this video. We're also gonna go in depth on all the changes to the dunk meter, rhythm shooting, dribbling, post scoring, speed boosting, bump steals, and all the brand new features introduced for the very first time in NBA 2K26.
Big body!
My favorite new addition.
Yo, Kava gonna love Giannis build this year. It's gonna be crazy.
And all the brand new features introduced
Screen up top.
for the very first
He came over to help. Jamal Murray dropped. There's a man open right here. That's Kyle Kuzma.
time.
AI is still stupid. Hands up. Oh, this is a bad freeze for him. His hand is going through his face. Push him off me. Hey,
Starting
that's
with my
tough.
favorite new addition, quick shot timing. I'm calling it right now. This is going to be the most overpowered addition
bean.
to shooting I'm calling it
It's a small green window, I guess, relatively.
26. Starting with my favorite new addition, quick shot timing. I'm calling it right now. This is going to be the most
I guess he doesn't have a hand up, so I guess it's open, but
overpowered addition to shooting we have ever seen. If y'all aren't familiar with quick shot timing, basically
God.
it's a feature where if you
that
hold
pass,
LT,
the
if y'all
passing
aren't familiar,
styles
it's the most overpowered addition to
Look at the
shooting
shovel
we
pass.
have
Us,
ever
us,
seen.
us,
If y'all aren't
us,
familiar with quick shot
us,
timing,
shovel.
basically it's a feature
Huh.
where if you hold LT before you shoot on a catch and shoot shot, you will drastically increase the speed of your jump shot. Here's a side-by-side comparison so you can see for yourself just how fast quick shot timing
I don't know about the side by side. It's two different players.
makes your
I
jump
don't like
shot.
that,
Now,
but
for the My Team heads watching this video, it might be a little hard to learn 5 different players' jump shots and then also learn 5 different quick shot timing. But for those of y'all that
That's
play
5
My
different
Player,
quick shot
aka the
timings.
Park, Rec, Pro-Am, whatever, I highly suggest you master this feature. Think about how many games you play with your My Player. Hundreds to thousands of games.
Yeah, this is for
using
sure
one
gonna be a
singular
huge.
jump
I ain't gonna
shot.
lie.
So
It's
if
a
you
great
take the time
addition.
to learn your quick shot timing like it's your actual jump shot, you will quite
Shovel
literally
pass.
never
Alright,
be
then let's just
contested
replay the same
every
clips.
time you
Come on,
take
switch it
a
up.
catch and shoot shot. I can't stress how important it is that you take this new feature seriously, especially if you're a spot up build like a lockdown or
He's
a pop.
red
If you're
and
worried
still
that it looks
dribbling like that. That's crazy.
I can't stress how
Imagine a
important
My
it is that
Player.
you take
Look at this shit.
new
He's
feature
blinking.
seriously,
All his
especially if
adrenaline's
you're a spot-up
gone.
build like
And he's
a
still
lockdown
dribbling
or
like
a
that.
popper. And if you're worried that it looks too hard to time, after 30 minutes of labbing, I was
It
able
definitely
to
looks
green
like bots are
consistently
trash,
with
though.
Brandon Podzimski on Hall of Fame difficulty. Trust
That's
me,
Hall of Fame
you will be
difficulty,
fine.
and
Now,
the
enough
bots are
yapping about
terrible.
that. Let's cover a feature
Ooh,
that Hall of Fame
whoa,
difficulty.
let's dissect this
I
menu.
was able to green consistently with Brandon Podzimski on
Oof. Okay. Top down view of the court. Okay. Game plan, game stats, options, camera,
On Hall
choose
of-
sides. We got settings, CPU sliders, controller settings, controls, customize HUD. That's
Fame
huge.
difficulty. Trust
Fatigue on, camera shake on, pick and roll overlay, Hall of Fame.
me,
Okay.
you will be fine. Now, enough yapping about that. Let's cover a feature that I really don't like, which is the
that hang.
Now, enough
Peep the
yapping
hang.
about that. Let's cover a feature
Hang.
that I really don't like, which is the brand new lob system. More specifically, we're talking about what I
In
think is
traffic
an
like that's
unnecessary.
crazy. If this still in
Now,
Huff,
enough yapping about
catch a
that,
lob
let's
like that
cover
in
up
traffic
feature
is
that I
crazy.
really
That's Jaren
don't
Jackson
like,
down
which
there.
is the brand new lob system.
Nah,
More specifically, we're
I don't like
talking
that.
about what I think is an unnecessary change, where whenever you throw or try and catch a lob, the player on the receiving end of the lob will get a random button prompt that they still have
It's
the
been square
time
every
to
time.
complete the alley-oop. If you're a little bit confused, in previous years, all you they still
didn't get-
have the
what
time
was it- what was
to
the one for that
complete
one?
the alley-oop. If you're a little bit confused, in previous years, all you have
We
to
didn't
do
get one
was
for
throw
that
the
one.
lob, and you would always click X or square at the appropriate time, and you would
We didn't get
finish
one for
the
that one
lob.
either?
Easy enough.
Square.
Right? Well, this
They've
year,
all
it
been
is
square.
no longer gonna be always X or square to
Oh,
finish
there it
your
is.
lobs. Instead, it
Oh
could
wait,
be
what is this, like a park
here, it is
gameplay?
no
What is
longer
this?
gonna be at the appropriate time, and you would finish the lob.
Whoa,
Easy
whoa,
enough,
whoa, whoa,
right?
whoa, whoa,
Well,
what is this
year,
court? Oh, this is my team. Oh, this is team up. Wembanyama, 2 Wembies,
There's no
Set
lo-
Hakeem Olajuwon, Luca, LeBron, Wilt Chamberlain.
longer gonna
It's the
be
same
always
cards. Who was that? Who's number 2? Is that AE? Kyrie?
X or square.
I can't tell. SGA? I can't tell.
To finish your lobs. Instead, it could be any of the 4 buttons on your controller. So on
I mean,
PlayStation, X, circle, triangle,
It's a quick time
and
event.
square.
That's like the worst thing to happen. It's a fucking quick time event.
On Xbox, A, X, Y, and B. And the reason I don't like this change is I just feel like it's pointless. It was intended to quote-unquote increase the skill gap in
Yeah,
NBA
quick time
2K26. But I don't know about y'all, I just don't think that's a skill. I'm not
I don't
gonna
mind
call
it.
someone
I
trash
don't mind it
for
at all.
missing a random button prompt, and I'm also not going to give someone
Hey.
props for hitting a random button prompt. Usually whenever you think
Hey.
of upping the skill, you want to be able to give someone props.
It's
whenever
been
they
square
can
every
do
single time that he's
something
shown it,
other
though,
people
here.
can't do.
Also,
I'm not gonna
why is
dab
that
up
an
my boy
issue?
because he clicked circle instead of square. I just think it is an unnecessary change.
You just sound like a bitch. You sound like you complaining.
It was always X and square depending on what console you're on, and then whenever I raised the difficulty,
I genuinely don't care about the lob system as far as with it changing buttons because yeah, it's different. I guess I can understand the argue point of it being unnecessary, but also at the same time, adapt to it, grow. It's different. It just seems like you're complaining due to the fact that it's something absolutely different. You know, like it makes the game a little bit harder. It's not even like a huge factor. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people early on is gonna mess up that lob. I agree because they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, I thought it was square. Oh shit, I thought it was square. Oh shit, I thought it was X. Oh shit, I thought it was X." But halfway through the year, if y'all still getting misinputs on lobs, you just ass. You're ass.
the Hall of Fame, that's when I got the random button prompt. So that might mean that it might not be in every single game mode, but whatever game.
All right, get
Dunk meter. I'm
Shut
gonna
up.
say this off rip. The next thing we need to cover are the changes to the dunk meter. I'm gonna say this off rip. Annoying.
I don't like that animation from Giannis.
Whatever game
I
mode
don't like
it's in,
that.
I am
I don't
gonna
like that
find
at
it
all.
annoying. The next thing we need to
I
cover
don't like this at all. Look where he's
are the
standing. I agree it's Brunson on him, so he's a toddler, but look at the
changes
slide in the
to
air.
the dunk meter. I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
like
this off rip. The dunk meter is better on NBA 2K26 than on NBA 2K25,
Hey.
but only for certain builds. And what I mean by that is dunk
Hey.
metering on taller builds felt like it was the easiest
Hey.
thing in
Oh my
the
God.
world. If you take a look at these clips of me trying to dunk meter with Giannis, you'll notice that I'm absolutely
That green
manhandling everybody
window's
and then
fucking
finishing
massive.
the dunk with a huge green window dunk meter. And this is on Hall of Fame difficulty.
Yeah, that green window's
the
fucking
highest
massive.
difficulty we could put it on. And I want y'all to really focus on the size of the green window in the dunk meter. For taller builds, it is ridiculously huge, almost making it hard to miss contact dunks on taller builds. But if we look at the flip side and try to get contact dunks with smaller builds, like Anthony Edwards and Ja Morant, it was still very possible,
tiny.
don't get me wrong, but it was a lot harder in the green
But
windows.
also, like, you gotta think here, right? It's a lot easier for Giannis to dunk over a Daniel Gafford and AD because he's their size. John Morant is half the size of AD, Jaren Jackson, a little bit shorter than Daniel Gafford. You feel me? Like, I understand it would be a lot harder, but you're going up on premium defenders with a smaller guard. That's a good nerf. It shouldn't be large for smaller guards. It shouldn't. If you want to have an easier time to dunk over people, you should be taller. I'm with 2K on this one. I really hope they don't patch that.
Were visibly smaller. I'm sure in some of the clips the green window looks kind of the same as the
That one
but
was
in some
fucking
it looks
huge.
visibly
And you know why it was huge?
smaller. I'm sure in
Anthony
some of the
Edwards, and he's
clips
going
the
over
green-
Zion, who's not a premium blocker. Man, okay, I maybe a little bit of a change, bro, but don't 2K don't patch this, please, man. Don't listen to this fucking nerd.
Window looks kind of the same as the Giannis ones, but in some of those clips, the difficulty was set to pro just so I could see the changes in the green window for the dunk meter. And what I noticed is that whenever I go to Hall of Fame on a 6'4" or 6 the dunk
You see what
meter,
what happened
and
there? He tried to get a contact dunk here,
is
but it
that
made him do a
whenever I
step
go
back.
to Hall of
It's gonna happen again, man. I was really hoping it would fix that, but
Fame on a 6'4" or 6
you're gonna be on a fast break. You're gonna be wide open at the rim. You don't think you do a windmill, something crazy, and do a step back.
like John Morant, Anthony Edwards, getting contact dunks became increasingly more difficult. And that makes sense because 2K did say it is a dynamic dunk meter.
On top of that, look at your stamina. Every dunk, I might add the clips here my goddamn self. Every dunk that he did with Giannis, he was damn near max stamina. Look at John Morant here.
That makes sense because 2K did say it is a dynamic
He's
dunk
exhausted.
meter, which means the dunk meter changes as you go through your animation. So you'll notice in a lot of these clips, I will start the dunk meter and my dunk meter will be very huge. And then notice in a lot of these clips, I will start.
But like, who's in the paint right there? We got like look where his hands are with his hands up. He's huge. And he's got another person in front of him.
Meter and
Is that Jeremy Grant too? Yeah, bro.
And
I don't know.
a taller player will get in the paint that I'm trying to poster, and my dunk meter literally goes to 0, where it's either not greenable at all, or it's basically 1 out of 100 times.
Okay, that one was crazy. I'll agree. That one didn't make sense because it's Zion.
It's basically 1 out of 100
I feel like you should definitely be able to rise
times
over
you might hit
Zion
the
there.
very small, pure
Especially
green
with AE,
window,
but-
which was a little concerning for me because, as y'all know, I love making like a 6
We had a green window
or
there, you just missed it.
6'4" two-way all-around guard build that has high driving dunk, high defense, high shooting, and high playmaking. But man, after seeing this in quick play, it really does have me second guessing making a small guard with a high driving dunk. I might actually save my small guard builds for just shooting and playmaking, and then make my tall guard builds have the high dunk.
2K, man, listen, I really hope they don't change this that much, bro. You can see there's positives and negatives, especially to the dunk meter, and I get what he's saying, but I think he wants it to be more of a point guard only. I mean, it's simply grinding. So yeah, he wants to be a point guard dominant video game, but like, no, bro.
Because if I'm not gonna be able to,
if I'm 6'2" with a 99 driving dunk, and I'm trying to yam over a nigga that's 7'1" with a 99 interior, I don't think there should be a green window. If I'm 6'11" with a 99 driving dunk, and I'm trying to yam over somebody with like a 99 interior, I think there should be a green window because he can get over that player. Whereas a smaller guard has a lot farther jump before he can reach the pinnacle and then get to the basket. There's a lot of time there. There's a lot of time for you to get in position. Whereas Giannis gets off his feet too fast to be blocked.
contact
In real life.
dunk consistently, and it's going to be 2K25 2.0, I'd rather save those attributes in the builder for my small guards. It'll have to be something I test out more when the game comes out, but if I had to summarize it, if you're making a tall guard, I highly recommend that you up your driving dunk. I genuinely believe it is the easiest thing in the world to dunk meter with high driving dunk on a tall guard build, but if you're making a
Make what you want to make.
small guard, we're gonna have to wait and see. Don't worry, I'm gonna test it out day 1 so y'all don't have to, but I just wanted to give y'all the pro tip now. Now, another thing we gotta talk about with the dunk meter is there's actually a brand new control for it that is so user friendly. If you notice on some of these clips, whenever I try to do the normal way of dunk metering, which is up on the right stick and then down on the right stick really quick, you'll notice that there's like a little bit of a hitch before I
Yeah,
go
there's a
up
hezzy.
that interrupts the flow of gameplay. That happened on 2K25 too. I never really liked it. It's like my player's trying to do a hezzy because that is up on the right
It's a hezzy.
stick. So what it looks like is he's doing a hezzy into a dunk meter, which wasn't what I intended. But on NBA 2K26, there's a new control where all you have to do is hold down on the right stick and it activates the dunk meter. And just like I highly recommend y'all get used to the quick shot feature, I highly recommend y'all do this method of dunk metering instead. Just hold down on your right stick and time it. And by time it, I mean release the right stick when it's in the green window. Way easier than flicking up and down on the right stick. You will never get a hitch or a hezzy.
I think people will do the up-down version of it just because they'll forget it's a new year.
Feels so
They won't
fluid
forget
in
about the
game,
they'll
at
forget
least
about the
in quick
mechanic
play,
being
which obviously
changed.
we haven't tested out
But this
online,
seems a lot
so
easier just holding
but by
down.
the end of community day, I
So.
was only dunk metering by pulling my right stick down and timing it that way. And not only did it feel better, it felt like this is how it's always should have been. So I'm really glad 2K made that change. Hopefully
It's a good
they'll
change.
keep that change in future releases. Now I feel like I've been yapping about the dunk meter for too long, so we're gonna come back to standing dunks later, but do not miss that part because trust trust me,
What
there
a
is something
shot.
you need to know about standing dunks. For right now, let's talk about the dribbling. Every year, everybody wants to know about the dribbling because that's what makes or breaks a good 2K game, in my opinion. If the dribbling feels super stiff and robotic, it will never be fun because you cannot combo up and you can't get open effectively without everyone using the same 1 or 2 moves to do it. So this year, I'm happy to say a lot of dribble moves looked really good. And y'all don't have to take my word for it. Look at the screen, bro. I'm showing everything that I'm talking about. You can personally see yourself that the dribble moves look faster. 2K did say that the game speed is increased by 10 or 15%, so maybe that's helping to contribute for the look
clapping
of
that
it
shit up, though. I
looking
don't give a
way
fuck.
better. But I also feel like the actual dribble moves itself are less stiff and more controlled. For example, the Curry slide on 2K26 kind of feels like the Curry slide on 2K22. If you remember 2K22, it was a super arcade-like game where you can spam a Curry slide, run to the left, spam a Curry slide, run to the right. The Curry slide in NBA 2K26 feels similar to that. And make sure to write this part down because I'm about to put y'all on. The best dribble moves in NBA 2K26 ranked from least overpowered to most overpowered. Starting off the list, we got Steph Curry step back, a super clean separation move for small guards that'll create that extra bit of space you need for a step back. A super clean separation move for
He recovered.
to most
Am I tripping?
overpowered. Starting off the list, we got Steph
That's a little bit of separation, but he got stunned. If you didn't get that stunned, I'm still in your
Curry
face.
step back, a super clean separation move
That's a good move. And if you pull it here, it's a great move.
for small
He recovered.
guards that'll create that extra bit of space you need for a wide open shot. Kyrie Irving behind the back, a ridiculously fast misdirection move that will
That's always
catch
gonna
the
be it. That's always gonna be a
defender
staple.
off guard
That's
every
always gonna be a
single
staple.
time.
That's a
Mike
beautiful move.
Conley step back. Not only will this allow you to
Ooh.
create some space
I like
and
that.
reset your dribble, but it
Ooh.
also allows you to speed boost to either side. James
I like that.
Harden and Kevin Durant step back. A great separation move for
I know it's because the
to
ankle
either
breaker
side.
animation that
James
makes it look
Harden and
crazy.
Kevin Durant
Yes.
step
That's insane. Although it's slow, I'm guarding that.
back. A great separation move for
Clamping that shit up. And why does KD and James Harden have the same step back?
to either side. James Harden and Kevin Durant step back. A great separation move for tall guards that seems to have an insanely high rate of ankle breakers.
That
Jeez, this
they're gonna
one
have
you
to,
can, 'cause
yeah,
I can
they're gonna have to patch that. So okay, we know day one we need KD or James Harden step backs because those it looks like he's getting ankle breakers a
almost
lot.
guarantee it will be patched first week.
Oh, for
Steph
sure.
Curry dribble style. I don't even need to say anything here. Just look at this. Speed
He's
boost.
moving.
There is no speed boost in the entire game that is better than this. And finally, the most overpowered dribble move in NBA 2K26. Steph Curry behind the back, aka the
Curry
Curry
slide.
slide.
Like, they brought the
Shocker,
Curry
I know,
slide back.
the move that lets you change direction and speed boost to either side is the best move in the game. But yeah, overall, dribbling felt a lot better on 26 than it did on 25. Now, I'm not one of those creators that's gonna go out here and say it's better than 2K16, it's better than 2K19. We're not doing all that. But as long as nothing is changed or patched before the
They're
game
gonna
is
patch a lot,
dropped,
for
which
sure.
please 2K do not do
They're gonna
that.
have
Just
to.
let us have a month of the game that we played at
Like, they're
Community
actually
Day,
just going to
please,
have to.
because I can definitively say that the dribbling on 2K26 felt way better than the dribbling on 2K25 as long as nothing is changed. Now, with every positive, there is a negative. There were still what I like to call a lot of dribbling hitches in the animation, meaning sometimes I could speed boost out of certain moves, and other times whenever I used the move that I went to sprint out of them,
That's
my
the-
player would
that's
do
the
like a
move
little
from,
hezzy stop before sprinting again. I know
What
y'all
is
know
that? That's from Darren
exactly,
Fox's
but
dribble
my
style
player
last year,
speed boost
where
out of
you try to
certain
like
moves, and other times whenever
sprint out of it and he does like a little hezzy first and then moves.
I used the move and I went to sprint out of him, my player would do like a little hezzy stop before sprinting again. I know y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. It was all over
Yeah, it
NBA
was
2K25. It was part of the reason the dribbling wasn't received that well. And that was because most of the dribble moves that looked good, you couldn't sprint out of them without your player doing like a weird hezzy that you didn't input.
It looks
in
like
your
they patched it a little bit though. Like it's not as bad as it was last year.
sprint
But
out
it's
of them
definitely
without
still
your
slow.
player
So
doing
there's
like a weird
obviously dribble styles that you're gonna have to avoid for sure.
hezzy that you didn't input in your controller. I'm hoping that whenever we put our custom animations in and we mix and match our favorite sigs, that it'll be more fluent. And from what I've seen when I was at the event with the other dribblers, that was exactly the case. People said that it was a lot more fluent whenever you put your actual animations in together. So we'll call this one a small negative because these are just NBA player sigs at the end of the day. But I did want to mention it just in case you go out there on day one and your player's doing a little bit of a hitch, maybe you need to change your dribble moves, or maybe that's just how it is. We're gonna have to wait and see on the full game. But I will say, if quick play is any indicator, a lot of the taller builds had good dribble moves. Kevin Durant had good dribble moves. Giannis had good dribble moves. James Harden is 6'6". I don't know if you would call that a taller build, but he had good dribble moves. So I do have a lot of hope that taller builds will actually be viable this year in competitive scenes. Now, enough about dribbling specifically. Let's talk about speed boosting. Once again, if you played NBA 2K25, you knew that you had to have Darius Garland dribble style to speed boost, with some small substitutions like DeJounte Murray or other niche options that people found, but for the most part, everybody was using Darius Garland. I really don't believe that is the case anymore, and the reason for that being is we were able to speed boost on multiple players. To put this in perspective, on 2K25's Community Day, we were able to speed boost with like De'Aaron Fox and maybe Curry, and I think that's it if I remember correctly. This year you could speed boost with Kyrie, you could speed boost with Curry, you could speed boost with James Harden, you could speed boost with Giannis, you could speed boost with pretty much every player you could think of that should be able to speed boost, and none of it felt super clunky. There wasn't like a weird slowdown after their initial burst. It honestly felt really smooth, and that's why you've seen people on Twitter being like, listen bro, this is gonna be a fun game if nothing changes from Community Day to launch day. Because what we experienced and what you're seeing on the screen, again, you don't have to believe anything I'm saying, you could visibly see what we played, was that speed boosting was actually effective again. Now, I know there's some people that don't like that and they want it to be realistic, so I will say that the defense in NBA 2K26 felt responsive enough to counter these super fast moves. Sadly, I can't go into depth on that until tomorrow, so just take it with a grain of salt, but I will say the best 2Ks in existence are the ones where offense is overpowered and the defense is just as overpowered, so you can match and counter each other until the best team wins. Now, we got 3 more main topics to cover, and then I'm gonna give y'all some overall knowledge of NBA 2K26 for some things that you might be worried about. So for example, rebound timing, wide open layup timing. I know people are worried about those. I'm gonna cover that at the end, but right now let's talk about the standing dunk meter. Once again, I'm making a prediction right here and now. I think the standing dunk meter is going to be super strong. I'm saying I don't think it's just gonna be viable. I think it's gonna be very good. I wouldn't say overpowered like NBA 2K24, but definitely useful, unlike on NBA 2K25. And if you look at the clips, you can see exactly why I'm saying that. You do the exact same thing that you did on 2K24. You get in the paint, you get your player in the dead zone, and you can either up down to dunk meter, which is what I was doing just because I'm used to it, or you can just hold down on right stick and your player will do a standing dunk. And as you can see in the clips, they are super strong. I'm 95% sure that all of these clips are on Hall of Fame. Maybe 1 or 2 might be on All-Star, but I know for a fact the majority are on Hall of Fame. And look how big that green window is. Now,
it's fucking huge.
I am doing this with tall players who have high strength, so it is how it's supposed to be. And I don't think I mentioned this in the dunk meter section, but I wasn't complaining that smaller guards aren't able to dunk meter. I was just trying to tell you.
I need to see how this fares up versus Giannis and Rudy Gobert, or like AD and Embiid. You know what I'm saying? How do they match up against each other playing defense?
You know, so you don't mess up your first builds. I think that the dunk meter window should be determined on a variable of things. It should start off with your dunk rating, your vertical guard who got taken out of his dunk meter. Of course, I'm a 2K player, but that's how it should be. Anyways, back to the standing dunk meter. There was no time where I just got taken out of my meter or my meter became super shrunk, even when I was dunking on centers who had high interior paint defense.
That's terrible. If you have high interior paint defense, you should be able to get a stop. Not allowing anybody to get a stop, especially with Zins, or people just honestly practicing the same dunk over and over again. That's going to be terrible gameplay.
So it really has me thinking, is gold rise up gonna be the sweet spot again like it was in previous years? Especially with the addition of max +2 badges that 2K already confirmed. Just getting that gold rise up threshold, you could technically have legend rise up with a reasonably high standing dunk rating and just absolutely dominate in the paint. Just something to look out for.
I'm not touching no 1v1 courts.
But if you wanted my opinion, I think standing dunk meters are going to be extremely strong. And you know what else is going to be extremely strong? Post scoring. Wow, shocker, grinding. Post
touching no 1v1 courts.
Scores are going to be good for the 15th year in a row. Yes, post scoring is super good.
Honestly, I don't really care about post scoring that much.
Stacking up wins like it's nobody's business and touching the controller. And guess what? Your player is gonna do that exact same thing too. If the first thing you do isn't going into your controller,
yeah, that's gonna be switched off immediately. Found out about that from last year. You're not a 2K player.
Switch hands unless you flick your right stick. setting for it, because believe it or not, some people do actually automatically set to off, and then you have to manually turn it on if you actually. Default is automatically set to off and just ball hands for them, but I wish they would change it to where the default is
these are just the settings.
Switch hands, because I can't imagine how many people don't even know that this is a thing they can do about it, when in reality I feel like people want 25 was a little ridiculous, and also other features of NBA 2K25 made it very hard to shoot with X, so it kind of skewed people.
Yeah, rhythm shooting was good.
Simple. I thought rhythm shooting was implemented very well in NBA 2K25. I think it was a very good addition to the game. I think the boost they gave you on NBA 2K25 was a little ridiculous. And also other features of NBA 2K25 made it very hard to shoot with X, so it kind of skewed people's judgment on rhythm shooting. It felt like you had to rhythm shoot. This year there is no noticeable boost for rhythm shooting. It's just if you prefer doing it. And it honestly felt even smoother than 2K25, which was surprising to me.
He whited it. It's green bean though.
Even more. I liked how it was implemented in 25.
Whited again, green bean.
Done it more was a nice surprise. And what Mike Wang,
I understand they made it to where you can green one or the other. Like you either green the timing or the tempo, and it's a bucket. I feel that's a boost within itself, no? Because the X button, you just release it. You know, like you release it at the top of the release, or you release it wherever green window is. Cool. But now you have two chances to green it on the right stick. That is a boost. Why? Why is everybody saying that's not a boost? That is a boost. You get two chances to green instead of one. Right stick shooting is still the better option.
said about
anybody says you different, they're wrong.
Tempo and still being able to make the shot was true, but I only found it to be true on lower difficulty. So if I played on like Pro or All-Star and I only timed one of my timings right, yeah, the shot would go in. But if I did that on Hall of Fame, I never saw it go in with only one timing. So
my bad, I was wrong. My fault, OG, go ahead, player.
It's gonna be interesting to see that if you can still green with only one timing on like the park, rec, pro-am, theater. Because right now, I genuinely don't think it's gonna be a thing. And even if it is, it probably happened once in a blue moon. Think of that one shot timing profile in 2K25 where you could like shoot whites and it would still go in.
So it's low risk? So they added low risk in the form of rhythm shooting. And everybody has it.
It would happen, but it wouldn't happen too often, you know what I mean? So yeah, other than that, all I gotta say about rhythm shooting and shooting in general is that it felt smooth. Me personally, I don't...
It happened, but it didn't happen too often. Here's the problem with that, right? Once we get more players playing the exact same game, the rates of things that didn't happen too often are going to become happening too often. Why? Because that's how statistics work. It's going to be in every game fair, isn't it? Isn't it?
Think I'm gonna be rhythm shooting all that often. I'm just gonna turn my meter off and hold X. And if I ever catch and shoot the ball, you best believe I'm using that quick shot feature we talked about earlier, because man, that is OP. But don't get me started about that again. Let's move on. Now, a couple final things, and then we'll go over my overall review of NBA 2K26. Rebound timing is not the big deal that everyone made it on Twitter. Literally, all it is a visual cue of if you timed your rebound correctly. And I'm not gonna lie to you, most of the time whenever I got a rebound, I never greened my rebound. So I don't know if that means I genuinely have room
it's right his feet.
Got a rebound, I never
his
greened my rebound. So I don't know if that means I genuinely have room to improve, or I just didn't care enough.
And he didn't get the rebound either. Rudy Gobert did. Now I wonder if Rudy Gobert greened his rebound. He's a bot, so I guess so.
I didn't care enough to green a rebound because I'm gonna get the rebound anyways. I got position. But yeah, greening a rebound did not seem like a big deal at all. I would be very surprised if it genuinely has an impact on gameplay in the park and pro-am and stuff like that. I genuinely think it's just a visual.
Yeah, I don't think green rebounds was ever an issue, honestly. They just made a visual cue, which that doesn't really matter.
Complaining that you have to time your layup meters no matter what. So let me put your heart at ease right here, bro. If you have a wide open layup, your entire meter is green.
Still.
I genuinely don't think it's possible for you to miss.
Why was it white at first though? There was no green window until the last second, and the game realized it. If that glitches out, you're missing that layup.
Have to try to miss it. So don't think you're just going to be out here missing wide open layups. Now, if you make a build that has a 25 layup and no dunking, then I'm not going to lie to you, bro. Just don't run no fast breaks because your green window might be tiny and then you might miss a wide open layup. But at that point, it's on you.
Pull that midi, bitch.
Even manage to find a build that has a 25 layup and a 20.
Yeah, you better pull that midi.
You, but honestly, you should not be worried about layups unless 2K25 should have been. I think that's a very fair assessment. I feel like a lot of things felt this.
All right, so this game should be what 2K25 would have been. All right, that's one down.
on my second Twitch channel, Double H VODs, where I'm also hosting a 2K26 giveaway. Now, warning, all the footage you see in today's video is on Hall of Fame. Start with the dribbling. Now, I'm going to let some clips play in the background while I talk about my honest opinion about the dribbling, and then we'll get into
different
specifics.
niggas.
The dribbling is a lot faster. I mean, you guys can tell by just looking at the gameplay, okay? The momentum's back. There's a bunch of old moves back. There's new moves.
Ripping all that shit. I'm clamping all that up.
Moves faster. You can cancel out of moves.
Ooh.
Overall, the dribbling feels smoother.
Scottie Pippen.
It looks faster. And I feel like
Ooh,
players
Fox
are
look fast
still
as
going to be able
fuck.
to replicate their
They do a push
favorite
cross.
faster. And I feel like players overall, the dribbling
Is that behind
feels
the back?
smoother. It looks faster. And I feel like players are still going
I
to
don't
be
know,
able
that was a
to
little teleport joint.
replicate their favorite NBA
Oh, that was another
players.
teleport joint. Look at KD's.
I feel like players
canceled the
are
fucking
still
cross.
going to be able to replicate their favorite NBA players. While also
That's crazy.
the players that like the old arcadey 2K fast speed gameplay type of movement are going to be able to do their thing
Green
as well, okay? I mean, y'all can see the clips. Like, you could spam moves, cancel out of moves, run out of moves faster. The dribbling is 100% better than 25. I mean, if you think 25's dribbling is better than this, by
Look at the top right.
dribbling,
Look at the badges.
you could spam moves,
Handles for days
cancel out of moves,
gold,
run
ankle
out of moves
assassin
faster.
gold, handles
The
for days
dribbling
gold.
is 100% better than 25. I mean, if you
Set
think
shot
25
specialist.
dribbling,
Set shot specialist. That's not a set.
Is
Well, I guess
100%
technically
better
it's a
than
set
25.
shot, but isn't set shot
Run out of
specialist supposed to
moves
kick after a couple of
faster.
seconds?
The dribbling is 100% better than 25.
hey, fuck
I
it.
mean,
Set
if
shot
you think
specialist is just
25
pulling
dribbling is
that bitch
better than this
apparently.
by just looking at it,
Gold
I
lightning
don't know.
launch on
You
step.
might
He's
be
that
blind
fast.
because it's clearly better. But anyways, let's get into some specifics. Bursting, running out of that much faster. De'Aaron Fox has a nice escape and cross launch. Look at his escape and cross launch is nice and fast. Trae Young and
push
cross launch. Look at his escape and cross launch is nice and fast. Trae Young running out an escape. There's his animation. He also has, look at 2K24, Jamal Murray behind the back. Jamal Murray behind the back from 2K20. He runs out of it instead of having this like slow turtle animation that we had in 2K25. You see Ja Morant running right, then goes to escape, explodes out left, gets the dunk meter. I was even messing around with LeBron James.
yeah,
He
Bron.
has this nice like walk back, step back, and just messing around with LeBron. I mean, look at this, bro.
Is that a push cross on Bronny?
back,
Is
and
that push cross on my king,
even
Bron
messing
Bron?
around with LeBron James. He has this nice like walk back, step back, and just messing around with LeBron. I mean, look at this. You could snatch while running forward, and then you stop at a
Oh,
dunk.
I'm cooking niggas with Bron. I'm cooking niggas with Bron.
And immediately, look at KD. He did the same thing where he
Give a fuck about no KD.
left or right. Once again, here's Ja Morant in the Learn 2K. You saw his escape running left. Spam the left, right.
Again, it's an hour long.
That
I gotta get through
arguably
this. I gotta go in a
creates
second.
more space. This one is insane too.
It's a good
Very
behind the back move.
spam in 2K26. And what I mean is like literally spam them. In the past in 2K25, if you didn't escape,
keep in
you had
mind
to
though,
wait for
he's doing these moves without stamina. Stamina's turned off. That's the reason why you can spam it like this, okay? If you spam that shit in the game, I'm hoping you lose adrenaline, you lose stamina, and you can't do that shit.
the whole escape to play out to do another one, and then you would have to like either left stick can 26
Uncle Jordan.
or you would have to do a hezi and then do the escape again. In 2K26, you could just spam your right stick right
doing
and
jump
left
shot, don't look cruised?
without left stick canceling,
It's
without
still
L2
slow,
canceling,
but it
without
don't
doing
look
anything.
cruised.
Okay, you could just spam it right and left until your fingers
That's
fall off if you want to,
crazy.
and you're gonna lose adrenaline. Okay, but you can do it like once or twice. Curry. Back to back now, are you gonna lose stamina and adrenaline fast? Yes, and we're gonna get into that because right now this is Learn 2K clips
time.
with no energy or random scares. Doesn't matter. Once again, you realize right down to the left with the right trigger, just back to back to back.
That's crazy.
And super fast. Look at KD. Even with deep bomb or takeover, usually in takeover you don't really lose stamina fast. No, as soon as you can see if we slow it down. As soon as I started spamming those and canceling those escapes,
Yeah, see, that's
back
what I
and
mean.
forth,
Like, in
I
game,
lost
I'm
in
pretty sure you're
adrenaline,
gonna start
and I
losing
had probably like
stamina.
what?
Oh, yeah,
20%
adrenaline
of my
loss for
stamina
sure.
left when I shot the ball. Now look, we got Stephen Curry escape into the Curry slide, and look, I got no energy by the time I shoot the ball.
I like that.
80% of my
A good counter.
adrenaline. So that's an escape in 2 Curry slides. In one motion, basically. If you were able to momentum in the past, you're gonna get this down.
Oh, I like that.
An old behind the back mechanic returning. So you guys know in 2K25 to get that aggressive behind the back while you're standing still, like out of standing still,
Is that down
you
left,
like
right,
double
trigger?
tap the right stick down diagonal. Now
Yeah.
it's like 2K21 where you can kind of just
Do it.
run and flick the right stick diagonal down where you want to go.
Yes,
so all you have to do is
yes,
just run
yes.
and
I
flick
like that.
right. So if you went diagonal down left, you have to flick it diagonally up right. That's just a minor change on how to do the nutmeg, but it is back in 2K26. There is still hezi canceling in 2K26. Now, obviously, you don't need to cancel out of those escapes or behind the backs with a hezi anymore, or double right stick down diagonally left, or double right stick down diagonally right with behind the back. But for step backs like this, if you wanted to spam them back to back, you can still do the is kind of ass, so it's a little drawn out, but you get the point. Day, and I was trying to some other guards, and they said they couldn't find a way to quick peek like you could in 2K22 or like a 2K20 quick stop. Y'all all know in 2K25 we would flick to the right or left with the right stick, or just let go of everything, and that's what I was doing at 2K26 community. I was just flicking the right stick to the right or left. Would you? I mean, some of y'all probably won't even call that a quick stop, but this is just the best way to set
That's
your
not
feet
a quick
that I'm
stop
aware
at
of
all.
as of
They
now.
take quick stops out?
I didn't talk to somebody
It's
that
still
found
fast, don't get me
something,
wrong, but it's
or
Steph is
maybe
using.
we just all didn't have
they
enough
take out
time
quick
to
stops?
find the best way to set your feet and shoot. But as of right now,
Yeah, there's a little
the
hesitation
best
there.
way for
I'm
me
guarding that.
was to just
I'm
flip the
clamping
right
that shit
stick
up.
to the right or left after letting go of the left stick and shooting. Now, I am going to be talking about more about shooting.
That's not a quick
A lot
stop.
of shooting later in this video. Once again, a lot of my clips that I show, I'll just
clamping that shit.
randomly way. Steve Francis, one word, removed. It is not in the game. I don't know if, you know,
Oh, paywall.
is
It's in the game.
not in the game
Unlock
as of
paywall.
right now. Honestly, I don't have a problem with that, considering that that
Steve
was
Francis
just
slow as fuck.
a move that a lot of people spammed and it was overused. Shots, because they don't work on real people with brains. A lot of us didn't use these for jump shots because they don't work on
those shits are
real
terrible.
people with brains. We use Kevin
go-to
Durant and
jump
Jalen
shots.
Suggs most of the time for dribbling out of them and using them to run out of
Because once I see you
moves faster or
slowing
just
down and
run
shit like
faster,
that, ugh,
like the
that's
KD
disgusting.
or Jalen Suggs, like I said, which are both back. It seemed like most players, if not all players, had the same go-to shot they had in 2K25.
That was
I know
crazy.
some people wanted some NBA players to have a different go-to or thought they deserved a different go-to. Well, I don't think you're getting that unless, you know, I didn't test everyone's
That's
go-to
contested.
shot, of course, but the ones that I did test, it seemed like they were the same ones from 2K.
They look ass. Go-to jump shots still
Playmaking
look ass.
takeover, which in past 2Ks where ankle breakers were good, that's where you would get the good ankle breakers. But it seems like the ankle breakers were super random. The actual animations look really kind of dumb and like fake. And there was even sometimes where I would just spam a move or do a move and the crowd would react crazy. And it's like I didn't even do something. But even when I did make the defender do something, it kind of just didn't make any sense. But I'll let y'all listen in on the game audio when I didn't break someone's ankle.
Launches into Durant, but Greg trying to get back into championship contention.
We've seen that same KD clip all around many times.
Thompson and Flag fill out the wings.
Blowout dribbling. It is the same control. It seems
I like that.
exactly copy paste from 2K.
That's good.
Automatically lose the ball. Yeah, there's really not much to say here. There's this new
Jab
up the
series.
court move I saw in the controls when I was
Ooh,
looking
up
through
the
it.
court.
Basically, you run when you're running up the court without holding the right trigger,
Ooh.
you double flick up on the right stick. So you flick up on the right stick twice, and each player has like a different
I like
move
that.
equipped for this.
That's
Honestly, I don't
like a
know if
setup
this
move.
is gonna be useful, especially online or competitive. I obviously didn't test every
I think
one's of the
definitely
court.
they're gonna add a lot of those, and I think the multiplayer ones, like when we get into rec, are actually really gonna be useful, especially for downhill.
move, but
I'm excited about that actually.
did 5 minutes of just dribbling around in the Learn 2K for y'all. I was literally just messing around. Keep in mind, I'm just testing the game, okay? I'm spamming things. I'm trying new things.
I mean, if I
trying
want to see that, more than welcome to go to his video. We're gonna move on now.
rhythm shooting, okay? Rhythm shooting is a little different than 2K26. So rhythm shooting does not have a green bonus over shooting with the button. But with rhythm shooting, there's 2 timings. There's tempo timing and there is push timing. You are seeing in the bottom, there is sometimes where I am not greening the push timing and I'm greening the tempo
The last guy said it's very unlikely that if you green one and white the other, it doesn't go in. This guy's saying different.
timing, but I am still greening it on Hall of Fame difficulty because all you have to do is green the tempo timing, which is just the speed of you go.
So now we got 2 different versions of one different piece of information. The last guy said, Grinding said, that if you, in Hall of Fame, he didn't see a lot go in when you greened one but whited the other. This guy's saying if you green the push timing and white the other, it's always a bucket.
going down and up on the stick, matching the player's shot speed, okay? That is the only thing that you have to time to green and make a shot with rhythm shooting. So I guess
So then, yes, there is a boost to right stick shooting, like I was saying earlier.
technically there is an advantage with rhythm shooting because you have two different things at the time.
Hello!
But this is the thing. You're probably thinking, oh, I just have to green the tempo or the push. No, if you green the push timing and not the tempo timing,
It's all about the tempo.
It doesn't go in. So I don't know. I don't know if it's really an advantage. I think it really just depends.
It's two
on
different
what
timings. Yes, it is.
You're better at timing. If you're better with the button, use the button. But if you're better timing the tempo,
I was right.
or the push, no.
I was right.
You make it, but if you green the push like I just will be, and then it starts timing your tempo timing, faster your jump shot will be, and then it starts timing your tempo timing once you release it from holding down on the right stick to going back up. Now, this doesn't mean you can't go crazy with the button. This is a game. This is a random shot from All-Star Team Up. I mean, people are greening reds in the corner with the button. And that brings us to the perfect time to talk about rhythm turbo fades. Now, let's take a look at this first clip where I let go of the right stick to the top to the bottom a little faster than normal, and he kind of chucks it up because he releases it faster. Stick to the top to the bottom a little faster than normal.
Definitely just threw that. That's crazy.
He
It's a great
faster,
animation.
okay? But that was his turbo fade animation. If you guys remember in 2K25, and there's a pull-up version of it, in 2K25, depending on if you had your right trigger held or not, you had a slow fade or a turbo fade while rhythm shooting, okay? Now, in 2K26, there's no slow fades if you want to rhythm a fade. It is just the turbo fade animation.
I like that.
As long as you are pointing your left stick to the right or left. Now, sometimes you will get a pull-up jump shot, like kind of like a front fade almost, if you are not pointing your left stick in the right direction. But as long as you are pointing it to the left or right, and you want to rhythm fade it, you have to put the right stick up, down still.
So turbo fades or fades in general are just fades. Like there is no right trigger, no light trigger. I like that because it makes things a lot easier and a lot less timings to remember.
You're going to get that turbo fade animation right there. Decently good.
As long as you're going a lateral way or another, you're gonna get that same fade.
Pull up animation. Back fades. Now shout out to Laker for providing this gameplay to me, and shout out to King Dooms. He was using Shay in this gameplay, and he told me after testing back fades and All-Star Team Up that back fades feel smoother than regular jump shots. So that gets me excited because I like back fading. Especially on twos. I like doing that too. And so does my teammate.
We were pretty much running towards the rim.
I didn't personally test the back fades,
right back out to the three-point line.
My boy Doom said it felt really good, and he was going crazy with the back fades. Like, look at this. Shay's just going crazy out there in the All-Star Team Up. No dip catch and shoots. If you guys didn't know, there's a new mechanic where if you hold L2 when you catch the ball,
it's quick, it's fast. Yeah, we know about that.
L2, shoot it immediately. Clearly a difference. This is a must if you are a spot up shooter or you control your whole team like in my team or play now. I even went to go look at Porzingis play. Paul George had a good no dip shot. Now, depending on the jump shot, you can get faster no dips or slower ones. So look at DeJounte Murray. That's a heavy. He just shoots it immediately. There were some players that had bad no dip catch and shoots. Like Jonathan Isaacs was terrible. It was slow. Now, I tried to get one off the dribble, but it doesn't work. You have to have your feet set, okay? Don't believe me. The next possession with the same player, Keontae George, I have my feet set, and I shoot it immediately. It is clearly visibly a lot faster.
Gotta have your feet set, left trigger.
Greening it with the button. Now, I went to go look at Cooper Flagg's
Cooper Flagg's
stats.
busted.
I mean, dude, this guy is tall, and he has an 84 perimeter defense. Now, yeah, KD is
Flag
6'11" with 99 mid in Hall of Fame. Did I? So that probably has something to do with it. Where I was like, oh my God, Trae Young's base? I don't know what was going on with Trae Young's base, but I was greening a lot of base.
Run that back on the
jump shots. It wasn't just height. There were some jump shots where I was like, oh my God, Trae Young's base?
That base does look smooth. I ain't gonna lie.
Too cheese. Now, when you dex with the right trigger, it's still the same animation. Now, fatigue was off in Learn 2K, so I don't have visual proof of this.
He doesn't look super fast.
But for the people that were testing triple threat and all that stuff, when they were tapping R2 to dex like you would around the 2 score or the 3s to L2, you would lose a stamina off one R2 dex. So you want to backdoor with the right trigger dex, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose an adrenaline. You want to run right and then right trigger back to the left, you're losing an adrenaline guaranteed. So if you're going to dex even once, you better get open because you're losing an adrenaline, and starting a possession catching the ball with 2 adrenaline is a huge disadvantage because you're probably bomber takeover once. Yes, deep bomber is back. I got it with Kevin Durant. Hall of Fame difficulty, step back, shooting over Daniel Gafford. Got an open, greening it with rhythm shooter or rhythm shooting. And once again, I proved that it is on Hall of Fame difficulty.
I need my hands on this game.
That was pretty crazy. It went right off the backboard, so that's how you know I got the green window spot on with that tempo timing. Now, I was in Learn 2K with Steph Curry. It was a 99.3. Now, keep in mind, these players, none of them had legend badges, so Curry is Hall of Fame limitless range. And I was just testing out shooting with rhythm from super deep. Now, for whatever reason, at Learn 2K, it was really hard to shoot, but obviously, this gameplay that I'm showing currently is literally from the Learn 2K logo, but I did green it a couple times.
It's possible.
So it wasn't impossible to shoot from out there with Hall of Fame limitless range.
That's all I need to see is it's possible.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to test Legend limitless range. I would have liked to test that and see
Legend
how that
limitless
was
range is very possible from there. It might be consistent.
Locked in on Hall of Fame, you're gonna struggle to shoot. Dude, this is Curry with a 99.3. I felt that shooting middies, even though Curry's mid-range was, well, actually no, Curry had a 99 midi and a 99.3, so his rating's the same, but shooting the midi was just like a lot easier. And obviously I know shooting a mid-range should be easier than shooting a 3, but it felt a lot easier to shoot a midi
The range demons might be back this year.
Good. Like, it is not easy to shoot on 2K26, I would say. 2 random little things. I'll show the shot meter really quick. I don't use the meter, so this is the only clip you're gonna see of it, which was the first clip I had in community day because I took it off immediately after this. So there's what the meter looks like for the people that are interested. And here is the little screen splash thing under your player. This was in 2K20. Yes, it is back. That's what it looks like in game.
I just realized those are female players.
This was in 2K20. Yes.
Who is that? S Petty? I don't know who that is. Go, hey, she's green.
Back. That's what it looks like in game. Patty Mills, jump shot, other jump shots. Patty Mills was Patty Mills. Now, obviously, Patty Mills, like, dribble animations suck, and his releases are not very good. But when you put your custom releases on after unlocking,
his base is crazy. All right, Patty Mills is going to be viable.
And this was terrible. I mean, I could not time his shots. It was
There's
really
shitty jump shots. Yeah, we know
that. Like, weirdly good. I was green, so it was confusing. They're not going in. No more. Finally, we are moving on to the finishing. We're going to start with Giannis's stats.
I haven't heard anything about
91
layups, no euros, and hop steps.
When I was playing, he's a 98 overall. I mean, those stats aren't final, but that's what I was using when I was playing with him. He has Hall of Fame physical finisher because none of these players have legend badges, like I said earlier in the video. And once again, he has Hall of Fame physical finisher. Stats aren't.
Oh shit! See,
he is a
98 driving layup, 85 standing dunk, 91 driving dunk, and he was yamming like that earlier. That was crazy. 91. 52 3-point.
91 dunk, 85 standing dunk. He's a 98 overall. I mean, those stats aren't like I have on the funnel meter. Like I said, I changed it in the customized HUD settings. I have the large meter setting on. Now with the dunk meter this year, you have to hold the right trigger and just hold the right stick down. Same with the standing dunk meter. So it's a little different.
That's a 91 driving dunk.
It was right over OV topping. I had a green window. You could visually see the green window. I'm just not used to it. I could have timed that, could have easily greened that right here, right over him. I mean, that was...
See, the green windows here are a lot smaller than what the last guy was seeing. So now, again, 2 different views.
Who is that? Andrew Nemhard?
From Simply Grinding in Double H.
Once again, a lot of these dunks are going to be greenable. And the meter is 25. Sure. By the way, right there, I tried to go for a dunk meter and it put me into a layup, which I really like about the dunk meter. If you don't get a dunk, you can just time the layup, which is awesome.
That's
instead of previous years where no matter what, your player just goes over the dunk and you get a very early. That's a wide open dunk right there. Hey. You guys know in 2K24, if you just, in Pro-Am, a lot of guards, what they would do is just have the guard go to the paint and then you would get a no meter. It's not like that in 26. You're going to have a green window. You can't bait it into just being a no meter right there. To use a high driving
so they fixed the no meters
in 2K26.
Where you would go in the paint, try an aggressive dunk or switch out of a dunk or whatever, and you get a no meter layup, and it most likely
Hall of Fame difficulty. And right here, we get a wide open driving dunk. And that's what I like about the dunk meter this year is in past years,
push
very early. About the dunk meter this year is in past years, you would just get it very early, no matter what. Now you actually get the late or early. Someone in Triple Threat, shout out to everybody that shared their gameplay with me, got this contact dunk right here. And overall, the dunk meter definitely improved. Slow down Euros. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty excited for this, but this is kind of trash. At least in 5s against the AI. It just seemed like there wasn't really a reason to do a slowdown in the middle of your Euro. Basically, you hold LT and then your player like slows down in the middle of it. It was also kind of weird to time because the meter slows down with it too. So that was kind of weird because I'm not used to that. There's never been something like that, but there just never seemed like there was a time to do it. I guess maybe when someone's in front of you on a court with less people, but for fives, it didn't seem that good. But look at, shout out to my boy Kang Dooms.
That was tough
for this gameplay. He greens a 100% slowdown hero in my team's triple threat somehow. Self alleys, don't be like me on your first self alley-oop thinking it is the
They ruined layups again, didn't they? Oh, mother cry.
same controls and do a flashy pass, because now A and X on Xbox is a flashy pass and XY is the self alley-oop. We were playing on PlayStation at Community Day, and I was so confused with the icons because they're not color coordinated like Xbox, and I'm not used to where these icons are at. But yeah, every time you throw an alley-oop or a self-alley, a random button between A, X, and Y and B, or whatever the PlayStation ones are, pops up, and you have to time it. Honestly, a lot of people are freaking out about this. It is not hard.
Yeah, it's
people.
not that.
Thank
you. It's not that
damn
serious.
easy, but you still have to time it as well. Layup meters. Now you can take your meter off and get a green bonus. I honestly like the
taking it
meter
off
on, especially with my meter settings. But yeah, you could still get pretty decently sized green windows on some tough layups. I mean, a 42% spin layup right there. A lot of times when I was getting the rebound, I was just going back up. I like the green window sizes. I like being able to visually see it. On right there, I basically full barred it, but it was 100% smothered. So at the end, it just went down. I don't know if that's just because I'm on Hall of Fame, but even on this 88% contested layup with Giannis, there is some kind of green window there. Right there, I basically full barred it, went back down in the last second on the 89%. I don't know why.
Crazy.
I mean, it's got to be Hall of Fame difficulty, right? Right here, I completely full bar the heck out of that.
Oh my
it
God,
was only a
good bucket.
19%.
I think Mike Wing spoke on this in the first part of the stream. Whenever we did the interview, he said that a little bit of RNG is still there, especially with those kind of layups and stuff like that, because it is smothered. They don't want you making it 99% of the time. They still want that to be like, if you play good defense, you're rewarded for it. But at the same time, they also made it to where there's a little bit of RNG where it can roll over from, 10%, 20% chance to 0, and,
I'm guessing it was because Andrew Nemhard was
It's like the edge of the green window, so, because of the defense, it rolled out.
on me. Little hop step lay right there with Giannis. Going to the paint with Giannis again. Crazy contested. I full barred it, but it was a foul, so I don't know if that was last second. Anthony Edwards, little scoop lay right there. That ended up being open somehow. And you're going to see a baseline right here with Anthony Edwards where I finally am not running out of bounds when I'm doing a reverse layup, unlike in 2K25.
I like that.
The standing dunk meter. It works just like the driving dunk meter.
We already know standing dunk meter is pretty much the same. It's easier.
When the game drops with like a my player, because I'm telling
passing
A with your high pass sack or even your low pass on the pick and roll. I didn't really notice anything. I did turn off the auto lob pass feature. I don't know why that is a thing. That might be one of the worst features they've ever had. Why would anybody want an auto lob pass feature? Make sure to turn that off as soon as you load up 2K26.
They're gonna change a lot of settings as soon as the game
very
starts.
irritated when you randomly throw a Y lob pass when you're just clicking A with your high pass sack or even your low pass sack. Okay, yeah, these seemed fine, right? Then I tried to test the wraparound pass feature, which is just double tapping B, and this was implemented into the game to avoid you hitting people in the head or in the back. So I do it right here with Obi Toppin, and this is the wraparound. He gets this slow animation where he just goes around and tries to get the ball around him. But what does it do? Hits Isaiah Hartenstein.
It's still a bad pass though, because honestly, it's a bad pass. Like, even if you didn't try the wraparound there, because the man was already heading to the corner. Hartenstein was in that path, that lane. The wraparound pass is meant to go around the person in front of you, not
the first attempt.
The guy over there.
That's my first experience of trying this wraparound pass. Then I have Halliburton. He does the wraparound on a way longer pass on the fast break, gets stolen. So we're 2 for 2 on turnovers. And it literally went right out. Like, it's not wrapping around. It's like he's getting this wraparound animation, but the ball isn't actually. The ball isn't. There's no difference in terms of the ball being thrown. Right here, I get a bounce pass. You're probably like, oh, you fat fingered B, double-ish. Yeah. No, I didn't. And right here on this possession, you're going to see Halliburton wants to bounce pass the ball 3 straight times.
All right, that's ass.
And then on the 4th time, I just quit. It doesn't work well at all. It doesn't work how I think it was intended. Yeah. No one would use this in a competitive setting.
I'm not using it.
And you can't icon pass it to.
100%
this
right.
Feature did not fix our issue with the ball hitting off.
Also, it could be an issue with pass styles too. I don't know, but that does look pretty ass.
And so it probably still is in the game. But just like normal, I was rhythm shooting it. Last second, Julius Randle button shot. Hold the right trigger, hold it up on the right stick, and I would get a lot of those animations.
Care about once again defense.
He is also an 88 overall. Thompson has some great defensive stats. He is also also an 88 overall.
You can shoot for shit.
And we're gonna start
6 ball handle. I'm at Thompson. Nice. 80 steals, 78 block, 94 perimeter, 79 interior.
Okay.
He plays defense.
Lanes
95 speed. Jesus Christ. 99 vertical.
Very good in NBA 2K26. I was playing a lot of play now, so I didn't really get to test lanes too much. But the people that were playing online, and when I played online, lanes are good. Okay.
Lanes are good. Copy.
But let's get into bumps first before I show the lanes gameplay. Patty Mills, I'm just bumping up the court. Mike Wang said that, and here's a Ben Thompson. Mike Wang said that they have a lot more like player connection type of thing. Like it can get a lot more physical in terms of bumps.
I feel like there's a lot of sliding off animation there, even though you're in position.
Ben Thompson, Mike Wang said that they have a lot more like player connection type of thing. Like it can get a lot more physical in terms of bumps. So you kind of attach onto players more. So that's why you're seeing
that looks good.
These bump animations. So I can't even imagine when you actually make a lockdown as a player and you have a super high prim with maybe even legend on ball menace. Once again, none of these players have legend on ball menace or anything like that. Right here, I actually get a blocking foul animation though with Steph Curry. This was, I think this happened twice. So this wasn't like super.
Because that's going to discourage people from playing
were
high.
really good in the beginning of 2K25, like patch 1, then they had to nerf them. I wouldn't say they're as crazy as patch 1 2K25, but they're good. They're definitely good. I like where they're at. I feel like lane steals take skill time, especially with the game speed being 10% higher. It's giving less time to react, creating a bigger skill gap because your reaction to these passes have to be faster than they were last year. Okay, so there's a lot of 5v5 gameplay in the all-star team up, my team things. Shout out to everyone that gave me their gameplay. Shout out to Laker fan and Dooms that were playing in these games. Laker fan was on Wilt and Dooms was on Shea. Yeah, definitely lane steals being good. Well, I mean, we'll have to see how they are.
Lane steals are great,
but it was rare. Okay, most of the time, the first time you click X to steal the ball, it is a foul like 95% of the time. You either get a foul or you get the ball. And 95% of the time, it is a foul. So you can't just be reaching in 2K26.
There's also people with low steals, though. So
of when you click X. So people that are just spamming X, you are about to start.
That's what I like to hear.
Downs.
All right, I think we're gonna call it there.
Flux are a lot more rare. And
once again, is there anything that you guys want to?
Cleaning takeover back there, and then you have the rim protection takeover, and then you have that silky shooter takeover ability right here on Jabari Smith. And like I said earlier, takeover doesn't really keep your energy fully like it.
Anyway, all right, that was gonna be the end for me today. Was it an hour and 30? We went through a lot of information. Honestly, it looks like very polished. It looks like they added a lot of different things. It looks like they changed up a lot of the gameplay. I am gonna do more reviews of this later on tonight, but that's gonna be it for today. I appreciate y'all for watching. If you haven't already, check my YouTube out, Galaxy Over Rob. You know what I'm saying? Got me on TikTok, Instagram, same thing everywhere. You feel me? We're gonna get back into this, but the game looks really smooth. Obviously, the shooting looks a little bit too easy. A lot of people are saying they want to take out or change the meter dunks with the smaller guards, but honestly, I think it's fine. From what I've seen so far, the meter dunks look fine. If you're tinier, it should be harder to go yam that shit over a bigger guard or a bigger defender. So we'll see what happens. But hey, man, appreciate y'all for watching. It's been your boy Galaxy Bro. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.